Hello again. It's been a while since I did a video, so I just wanted to do a quick video on this AirWheel Robot, as it's called. So we got this from a shop at our local mall, and they had to ship it to us and everything. It took a while. It took about maybe almost 2 months to get here. Just wanted to order it for our son. He likes traveling, so we got this for him to use at the airports just for fun, you know. We travel a lot, so I figure we'll just get this for him so he can ride around the airport. But apparently these things aren't allowed at a lot of airports, but still pretty fun to ride on. We demoed it at the store. It was pretty fun. My auntie was there. She ended up buying one as well. My auntie and uncle got one too. They're pretty pricey. I'm not gonna say the price because this was one of those drop ship stores, so of course everything was marked up. You could probably get one of these off of Amazon for a lot cheaper nowadays. But so my biggest issue with the AirWheel Robot is when we finally got our stuff in, we had it sitting out probably for about a week or so before we opened it up and decided to try it out. My son was getting ready to go on a trip, so we were gonna take this with us, and he was gonna use it for the first time. But we got home, I plugged the battery in right here, let it sit overnight. We got up in the morning and it was not working at all. The battery didn't even hold a charge at all. So you can see that this thing doesn't even do anything. It's pretty useless. These batteries are really shitty batteries. And I tried to order a new one, but guess what? We live in Hawaii and they don't ship batteries like this to us. And if I wanted to buy a brand new one, they're like $300-400 brand new. But the people that make the AirWheel, their website doesn't even have this battery listed anymore. So I don't know if this is an old luggage or whatever. I still see them for sale online. And if we wanted to get a new battery like this, we'd have to buy a whole new unit like this. The only success I did have was going onto eBay and seeing these batteries for, you know, they're used, but they show that they charge. It shows them plugging it in, and the green lights will come up over here. But this one doesn't do anything. It hasn't done anything at all. Took it apart, tested the batteries. All the cells in here are fine. So I have no idea. It must be a chip issue or something, and I'm not going to go through every single chip in this thing to try to figure out what's wrong with it. There was a video I did watch. My mate Vince, he was probably the one that got the best knowledge on these things now, because he took one apart, exact model, everything. He had the same issue. It wasn't charging. He took it apart, and you gotta watch his video if you really want to do it. It's again, my mate Vince. Just look for the AirWheel video, and this is talking about the battery and how it doesn't hold the charge. So we were very disappointed. We tried to contact the company that we bought it from, and they were closed. They had closed down, and up in their spot had popped up a party balloon store, which was kind of weird, you know. So we ended up just taking the loss on it, and this thing kind of sat for a while, this AirWheels. And I tried to figure out other methods on trying to get the battery to charge. I took it apart. I even replaced all the cells in it. That did not work at all. So it just wasn't holding a charge. I did try some other methods. Like I bought a USB adapter, USB to USB-A to USB-A, and tried to plug in through there. And when you do that, I know this is like probably a charging port because it says it's a power bank, but when you do that, you plug the USB-A to USB-A, one of the lights actually lights up, which was awesome. So that ended up going up one dot right here, which is like, I guess, the charging dot, because it doesn't even have a percentage on it. But that's it, and it wouldn't go on from there. I left it for a couple days, nothing changed. So I tried leaving the plug-in for a couple days because I saw that's what my mate Vince did, and same thing, nothing. Didn't get any charge from it at all. I know he did replace some parts on the thing, and I'm not gonna go through the trouble of even doing that because I did find a better solution. Now, the battery actually slots into the side here. Let's get this turned around. Right over here, the battery will slot in right over here, this side, and then there's that little pin right there that the battery plugs in right there, this little barrel connector right there, and it goes right in. It just slots right in, and you know, it just never worked for me. So I experimented a little bit with other power supplies, could not get it to actually work. And then I realized something, that this is all based, this little luggage here is based, even with these, the way you reverse and go forward and stuff like that, it's all based on a hoverboard. So I ordered a hoverboard battery that matched the specs of this because they're very similar. And guess what? I got this sucker to turn on. So I installed the battery, and I'll go over that towards the end of the video, but I'm just showing you that it's working. So this thing turns on now. Notice there's no battery in there. That's because I located the battery somewhere else. The AirWheel symbol lights up, and of course if you push the gas, it goes. You gotta hold this down and push this, and it'll reverse. And there you go. It's working out great. Now my son's gonna be happy. I was really disappointed with the AirWheel company that they don't have like more of these around. I'm pretty sure this is just like some cheap knockoff China battery type thing that you could buy tons of. But you know, any ones that I did find for sale online that were similar to this, there's some of them that don't have this USB port, or some of them just have the USB port, no barrel connector there. They just were asking like ridiculous prices for it, or they wouldn't ship to Hawaii, which is really unfortunate. I don't know why they don't ship lithium. I mean, I order lithium batteries all the time from eBay and sometimes Home Depot, Walmart, and never once had a problem with it. So yeah, I still don't know why there's such regulations on lithium batteries. I get it, they can explode, but you know, if it's packaged correctly and no air or moisture gets into the battery's going to be completely fine. But anyways, so I'm going to show you guys how I got this thing to work and why there's no battery in here. And it's a very cheap alternative to just trying to hunt another one of these batteries down, because you're not going to be able to find it. All right, so just give me a minute, and then I'm going to get right back to it. Okay, so we have right here the main storage compartment on this thing. There's only one. This is your footrest stuff, you know, your handles and your to turn, the acceleration, and then the stop or reverse. The motor, I'm assuming, is in this, because this front wheel doesn't really have anything other than a pivot to it. There's no motor or anything, but I don't know, I could be wrong. But like I said, this is based on hoverboard technology. Like, you know, you angle this part right here like how you would your feet, and it'll accelerate, decelerate, you know, whatever. So anyways, so we have the main compartment on this side. And so what I ended up doing was, I was so upset that I could not find a battery for this thing, and my son was really upset too. But you know, after I told him I would work on it, he kind of just like, okay, well, you know, my dad, he does all kinds of weird stuff like this with electronics, so he'll probably get it working. But anyways, so you open this up. This is just the main storage compartment, you know, it's just the inside of it. Let me see if I can turn my light on. I'll be right, there we go, that's better. Okay, so we have the main storage compartment here. You can see it's really small, it's not that big, it's a really small compartment. Like in comparison, this is my hand here. This is how big this thing is. It's not that big at all. So I was actually trying to get to the terminal, the barrel connector that is on this side, because I thought maybe this wasn't working or wasn't connected, but that wasn't it. So I decided to do some investigating, and I saw in another video, I'm sorry, I can't remember whose video it was, he had a battery issue, and he replaced batteries similar to this one, but then these, I guess on the older ones, it wasn't on the outside, on the side over here, it was actually underneath this thing. Similar battery to this, except it had different connectors on the back here, and I couldn't find any of those batteries at all. Never even seen one for sale. But anyway, so there's a little zipper in here that you can get to. Oh, it's on this side. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh, where's the zipper? Nope, not there. Ugh, Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. I had to like reach all the way in there, put the phone down so I could get it, but the zipper's right. It's under this little flap here. It was like right about over here, the zipper was, but there's a little zipper here that you can open up. This inside liner that they have. It's a little fickle, and try not to force it because you really don't want to rip this zipper, because if you rip this zipper, it's going to be a pain in the ass to re-zipper this luggage. I've already been through so much on this thing. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it now. Anyway, so this comes down. There's like Velcro at the top, but I already ripped one of the Velcros off, so I'm going to be very careful when I do this. So there's Velcro there and there. I'm just moving this out of the way for now. And then here is where the terminal is. This section right here, this is where that little barrel terminal comes up, and you can see it's unplugged here, only because I unplugged it. I forget what kind of connector this is, but anyways, I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, it's not a common connector to find. I mean, I had to actually look for the specific connector on Amazon, because I'm going to make a charger for this. So I did end up getting a connector, but luckily this side had the male and the other side had the female, and then this is just all the guts. This is all stuff you would see in a hoverboard, pretty much, all of this stuff, the way it's wired, if you were to take apart a hoverboard. So what I ended up doing to get power to it was right here is a hoverboard battery that I had bought online. You can see the specs right there. And luckily for me, it had one of those connectors already connected. I believe this battery was about 40 bucks. But yeah, so all I did was just unplug that and then plug this in, and it worked great. It's working. It's working great. So it's a cheaper alternative to spending money on getting this thing for now, until I get the charger working on this to where I can charge it from the outside of this. I think I'm just gonna unplug this, take this to charge, and then plug it back in for charging. But yeah, that's my plan thus far. Oh, and also when you first open this up, there's gonna be a black foam that's all over this entire section. I just peeled it all off. That's this stuff here. It's just all over the inside, covering up everything. I mean, I guess for safety reasons, I'll probably end up redoing it later. And then this just kind of hangs here. This is just straight to the barrel connector. It's not connected to anything else. But also, right down there, you see that little white clip? I thought that originally was the power terminal. Nope, that's for the lights and stuff on the side. That's all that is. So I was like, wow, I'm not getting a lot of voltage out of this, and that's exactly why. But anyways, yeah, so this is just my quick fix video on how to repair these AirWheel luggage when the battery goes faulty, especially when you spent so much money to get this shipped to you and the battery comes and it's not working at all. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Have a great day.